We learned in history class about abolitionist John Brown and his raid on Harper's Ferry, but it was a catalyst for much more that most of us didn't learn about, like the story of Storer College.
It's a little-known story, so very important, but it's amazing how many people have never heard of Storer College.
And the movement that took place there.
I would say that the teachers that graduated from Storer College became the appendages for Storer College, and Storer College is the physical manifestation for social change in America.
On tonight's Outlook, the cornerstone of freedom, Storer College and its role in the fight for civil rights.
This is Outlook, a reflection of our place, our time, and our people.
I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
You better mind how you talk. And you better mind what you're talking about. You got to give me an account at the judgment. You better mind. Yeah, you better mind how you sing, and you better mind what you're singing about. You got to give me an account at the judgment. You better mind.
Storer College is a little-known story. So very important, but it's amazing how many people have never heard of Storer College. Storer College was officially founded in 1867. 1865, when the American Civil War ended, you now had over 4 million people, an entire segment of our population who, for the very first time, had the opportunity to have a future.
Free Will Baptists thought, well, they might institute the school, a college at Lexington, Virginia. Then they thought, well, they would come further south and maybe institute it at Winchester, Virginia. Then they thought, well, we might move it to Charlestown because of its historical significance and the hanging of John Brown. But then when they thought about that in its entirety, they thought about the 1859 insurrection of John Brown and really what that meant to African Americans in this nation. So they decided to institute it at Harper's Ferry on Camp Hill.
It was just an elementary school, then it became a high school. A very prominent high school because it was a place where a person could afford it. In nearby cities, Washington, Baltimore, Philadelphia, could send their children. They be out of the city and get a good, solid education. And it was distinguished as a high school for a number of years. Then they added a junior college, and that was a big help. It provided a starting point for kids wanting a four-year college education. And then in the early 30s, it became a four-year college, and the high school was discontinued.
You know, it was against the law for blacks, slaves or free blacks, to learn to read or write. And education became a very important thing to the black people in Jefferson County. And when the Freedmen's Bureau moved in here in 1865, they worked in conjunction with the white Baptist missionaries from the north to come here and establish schools and churches.
A New England philanthropist, a man by the name of John Storer, began looking for one of these schools in the South to give a donation to, and selected Harper's Ferry, selected this school.
He gave them the money, and they had to come up with matching funds. Even at that period in time, there was matching funds were demanded of them. And it was interesting how they even went about that, so far as to people made many sacrifices in order to establish and institute this school at Harpers Ferry, even to the point where children were walking around on the streets of New England with tin cans collecting nickels and dimes. So a lot of good, positive energy was exerted in order to found this institution.
This school would be open to all races, all religions, and both sexes. They were ready to go out and to make a life for themselves, to be successful, or as we posed to our visitors, or were they?
This was the tennis court. It was the tennis court, but it's now volleyball. And it is somewhere down in there.
We had a tennis court right in front of the boys' dormitory, and kids used to play tennis out there. One day, one of our top students was out there playing tennis, and the ball went over the fence. It's just iron fence, picket fence. As he'd done before, he tried to jump over the fence to retrieve the ball. He missed, fell onto one of these pickets and pierced his stomach. We put him in a car, took him to Charlestown, the nearest hospital. They refused to wait on him.
That they told him in Charlestown, we don't treat your kind. Now, there's no sense to stand there and fight. You have a person here who is gravely wounded. They put him in the car, drove him over to Martinsburg.
There was a Catholic hospital in Martinsburg. We took him there. They took him in and nursed him to health. Well, one could feel safe if he could get medical attention in an emergency like that. And if it hadn't been for that other hospital, I don't know, the young man might have died.
You see, life can play such deadly tricks on you. This was primarily a Baptist started school, Free Will Baptist started the school, and primarily Baptist influence. But they take this Baptist boy to a Catholic hospital, and therein they save his life.